Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thanksgiving is a holiday loaded with tradition, nostalgia, and of course food. For many families, the recipes passed down from generation to generation serve as edible heirlooms, connecting present-day gatherings to the kitchens of great-grandmothers and beyond. But in the world of reality TV, where families like the Duggars and the Plaths have opened their lives to millions of viewers, holiday meals are never just about turkey and pumpkin pie. They're about culture, identity, and the way personal stories weave into shared memories. Recently, a surprising cultural crossover between Counting on Alum Jinger Duggar Vuolo and Welcome to Plathville's Lydia Plath sparked unexpected online chatter. When Lydia shared a quirky detail about her childhood Thanksgiving meals, complete with a food item most people would never expect, Jinger weighed in with her own reaction, and the internet had a field day. What started as an innocent recollection turned into a broader discussion about family quirks, faith, and the fascinating overlaps between two of TLC's most talked about families. This article takes a deep dive into that viral moment. We'll unpack Lydia's revelation, Jinger's response, and the cultural significance of food traditions in large fundamentalist families. Along the way, we'll explore how these moments highlight the evolution of both women as individuals navigating their identities post-reality TV fame. Lydia Plath's quirky Thanksgiving memory. On Welcome to Plathville, Lydia Plath is often portrayed as the earnest, devout daughter who balances loyalty to her family with her own growing independence. Fans have long admired her kind spirit and gentle demeanor, even as they've watched her grapple with the complexities of the Plath family's strict upbringing. During a recent live stream, Lydia was asked about Thanksgiving traditions in the Plath household. While many expected her to mention standard holiday fare, turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, she instead recalled something entirely unexpected. According to Lydia, one of the recurring dishes at their Thanksgiving table was Jell-O salad with shredded carrots and mayonnaise. For her, the dish was normal. It was something her grandmother always served, and it carried the weight of tradition. But for many viewers, the idea of combining gelatin dessert with vegetables and mayo was downright baffling. Looking back, I realize it was a little random, Lydia admitted with a laugh. But at the time, I just thought that's what Thanksgiving always had to have. Fans immediately took to social media to share their thoughts, ranging from disgust to fascination. Some said they'd grown up with similar retro dishes from church potlucks, while others swore they'd never let such a concoction near their holiday plate. Jinger Duggar Vuolo weighs in. It didn't take long for the story to reach the Duggar fan community. The Duggar family, like the Plaths, has also been associated with unique holiday traditions, many influenced by their conservative Christian background and large family logistics. Jinger Duggar Vuolo, now living in Los Angeles with her husband Jeremy and their two daughters, was asked about Lydia's quirky food memory during a Q&A session on Instagram. Her reaction? Equal parts amusement and intrigue. Wait, Jell-O, carrots, and mayonnaise? That's definitely a new one for me, Jinger said, raising an eyebrow at the camera. We had some pretty big spreads at Thanksgiving growing up, but nothing quite like that, she added with a laugh. Honestly though, every family has those random things that just become tradition. For us, it was this giant pot of tater tot casserole, yes, on Thanksgiving. It wasn't fancy, but with that many mouths to feed, it made sense. Her lighthearted reaction struck a chord with fans. On one hand, it highlighted the differences between her and Lydia's upbringings. On the other, it reminded people that even in families that seem unusual to outsiders, traditions, no matter how random, carry emotional weight. Why this moment went viral? Part of what made this exchange resonate was its relatability. Everyone, it seems, has a story about a weird food their family served at holiday gatherings. Whether it's oyster stuffing, marshmallow-topped sweet potatoes, or pickle roll-ups, these foods often spark passionate debates. In the context of Lydia and Jinger, though, the moment carried additional layers. Both women grew up under intense public scrutiny, their identities largely shaped by the expectations of fundamentalist families. By laughing about something as simple as a quirky food dish, they reminded fans that they are individuals, capable of humor, reflection, and connection beyond the narratives that have defined them. Fans flooded Twitter and Reddit with comments like, "I love that Jinger didn't mock Lydia. She was just like, okay, that's random but cool." Honestly, Jell-O salads are a thing in old church communities. My grandma made one every year. I think it's sweet that they both remember these foods so fondly, even if they're unusual. The conversation also sparked threads where fans shared their own random Thanksgiving foods. In a way, Jinger and Lydia's exchange opened the floodgates for a collective nostalgia trip. Food, family, and faith. To fully understand the significance of this story, it helps to look at the role of food in fundamentalist families like the Duggars and the Plaths. For families with many children, holiday meals aren't just about abundance, they're about efficiency. Large casseroles, hearty side dishes, and inexpensive ingredients are staples. Recipes often come from church cookbooks or regional traditions, passed around at potlucks and fellowship gatherings. But beyond practicality, food carries symbolic meaning. In these communities, Thanksgiving is less about secular gratitude and more about religious devotion. Prayers of thanks are central, and the food, however unusual, is simply the vehicle through which fellowship occurs. In that sense, Lydia's Jell-O salad isn't so much about taste as it is about continuity. It's a reminder of family gatherings, of grandparents and parents passing down traditions, of moments where faith and family intersected at the dinner table. Jinger's journey away from tradition. What makes Jinger's reaction especially interesting is her own journey of redefining tradition. Since marrying Jeremy and moving away from Arkansas, she has distanced herself from many aspects of her upbringing. She's spoken openly about leaving behind some of the Duggar family's teachings, particularly those tied to Bill Gothard's Institute in Basic Life Principles (IBLP). Food, in this context, becomes symbolic. Jinger has shared glimpses of her new culinary life in Los Angeles, coffee shop dates with Jeremy, trendy California cuisine, and an embrace of foods that would never have appeared on a Duggar holiday table. Her amusement at Lydia's random dish highlights the contrast between her past and present. While she can look back fondly on things like tater tot casserole, she also recognizes that her identity is no longer tied to the rigid traditions of her childhood. The Plath parallel. Lydia Plath, meanwhile, is still very much in the process of negotiating her identity. Unlike her older siblings, she has remained closely tied to her parents, Kim and Barry, even amid the family's public dysfunction. Her willingness to laugh about the Jell-O salad suggests a growing ability to reflect critically, yet lovingly, on her upbringing. Fans often speculate about how much freedom Lydia will ultimately carve out for herself. For now, though, her openness about random traditions offers a glimpse into her balancing act, respecting the past while stepping into her own voice. The role of social media. Both Jinger and Lydia's comments remind us of how much social media has reshaped the reality TV landscape. In the early years of 19 Kids and Counting and Welcome to Plathville, fans only saw what producers chose to air. Now, through Instagram Q&As and live streams, stars can speak directly to fans, unfiltered and authentic. That immediacy adds intimacy. When Lydia casually mentioned the Jell-O salad, it felt spontaneous, not scripted. When Jinger reacted, it was through her own phone, not a carefully staged TLC scene. That authenticity is exactly what fans crave, especially after years of curated reality TV narratives. Cultural fascination with weird foods. This crossover moment between Jinger and Lydia also taps into a broader cultural fascination with so-called weird foods. Entire YouTube channels and TikTok trends are dedicated to exploring retro recipes, especially from the 1950s to 70s, when gelatin-based salads and canned goods reigned supreme. For many viewers, Lydia's Jell-O salad wasn't just shocking, it was a nostalgic reminder of their own grandparents' kitchens. Some fans even speculated that the Plath family recipe might trace back to church cookbooks or Southern potluck culture. By reacting with humor rather than judgment, Jinger tapped into this nostalgia, allowing fans to see her not as a former reality star, but as a relatable person who, like the rest of us, has encountered some odd dishes in her day. The internet's take: Duggar Plath crossover. The internet loves a crossover, and this moment felt like a mini reunion special between two TLC worlds. Fans created memes imagining Jinger and Lydia hosting a cooking show together called Random Holiday Foods. Others speculated about what might happen if the Duggars and Plaths ever shared a Thanksgiving table. Imagine Jim Bob and Barry fighting over prayer length while Jell-O salad and tater tot casserole sit on the table, one Reddit user joked. For fans who have followed both families for years, these small overlaps feel significant. They remind us that while the shows may be separate, the experiences, strict parenting, large families, quirky traditions are strikingly similar. Food as identity and independence. At its core, this story isn't just about Jell-O salad or tater tot casserole. It's about how food shapes identity. For Jinger, acknowledging her family's food quirks while embracing new traditions reflects her broader journey of independence. For Lydia, laughing about her childhood dish while still cherishing its memory shows her balancing act between loyalty and self-discovery. Food is never just food. It's culture, memory, and identity all wrapped into one. And in the world of reality TV families, it becomes a way of connecting with fans who also carry their own quirky traditions. More than just a laugh. What began as Lydia Plath casually recalling a random Thanksgiving food turned into a viral cultural moment, one that drew in Jinger Duggar Vuolo and sparked conversations across fan communities. It's easy to laugh at the idea of Jell-O, carrots, and mayonnaise sharing a bowl, but the real story lies in what these dishes represent. For Lydia, it's family heritage. For Jinger, it's a reminder of her own quirky traditions. For fans, it's a bridge, a way to connect across time, culture, and experience. As Jinger put it best, every family has those random things that just become tradition. And maybe that's what Thanksgiving is really about. Not perfect meals, but imperfect, memorable, deeply personal ones.